Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. Whatever time of day it may or may not be. We're here. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna play Phoenix Wright. Now, the first game I've played through, I've also watched the anime, which like explains everything. The first game won't be too difficult. The second and third games I have not played, but I'm not too worried about it. Alright, I got some Swedish fish. I don't want to eat them. It's like delicious. I'm gonna have to talk a lot. I'm going to attempt to give everybody voices. There's a lot of female characters, so I probably won't give them voices because I'm horrible at female voices. Except for maybe one, but I don't know if I'll get to that case today. Trying to think. Phoenix will just be my normal voice, because why not? Yeah. If the music's too loud, let me know. Otherwise, let's begin. Episode 1, the first turnabout. These are Buttz. Yes. And you're gonna see my mouse. Sorry, but it's gonna be there. Okay? Gasp. Gasp. Damn it. Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Oh shit. There was something I wanted to do that I totally forgot. I wanted to queue up the Law and Order sting so I could have it anytime one of these screens came up. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number. Because this might annoy me more than it annoys you. We're gonna do that. There, no more cursor. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hiya, Chief. Ooh, glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. There's a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. Favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yeah. Actually, I kinda owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death! Despair! Oh! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Oh man, I gotta give Larry a good thing. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What is wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? Person responsible for your girlfriend's death. The newspapers say it was you. What's up, Diego? My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. It's a lot of blood. The young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Buttz. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, something smells, it's usually the Buttz. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault, just his terrible luck. But I know better than anyone, the good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. Wait, no, my inflection was wrong. Hold on. And that's just what I'm going to do. Bum bum. August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court number 2. I don't know if I like the way that it looks.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Buttz.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous.
Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness.
Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, knees weak, arms are heavy. Vomit, something, not mom spaghetti.
The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case.
It's Larry Buttz. The defendant, well, it's Larry Buttz, Your Honor.
Correct. Just keep your wits about you, and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name?
Cindy Stone. I know this because I did this earlier. Whew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... Wait. Uh-oh. No way, I forgot. Drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You look so shocked. So shocked. Oh wait, you can't see the cursor anymore. I'm circling her face. You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course. I know the victim's name. I just forgot temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record, which is down in the corner there, covered by Luther's face. Just press tab to check it at any time. Well, I can also click down here. Yep. A name, Cindy. Cindy's autopsy report. Profiles. Cindy Stone, the victim in this case, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself. Winston Payne, prosecutor for this case, lacks presence, generally bad at getting his point across. Larry Buttz, the defendant in this case, a likable guy who has been my friend since grade school. Mia Fay, chief attorney at Fay & Co., my boss, a very good defense attorney. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you.
Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case?
Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone.
Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of her death? She died because she was
hit with a blunt object.
She was struck once.
A blunt object.
Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Rat. Good for you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure.
Well then. First, a question for the prosecution, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor.
As Mr. Rat just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was?
Now, the murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim.
I see. The court accepts it into evidence.
Statue added to the court record. Statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is only ammunition you have. It's the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. It's just understandable. I can also just press it.
Mr. Payne, prosecution may call first witness.
Well, the prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Buttz, to the stand.
Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything fortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Alright, I think I'm gonna give Mr. Buttz a little bit of a bro accent, like a surfer bro. I think it'd work better for him.
Yeah. Mr. Buttz, is it true that the victim had recently dumped you?
Hey! Watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumb. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. What's to you anyway?
Mr. Buttz, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder.
What do you mean, one of them? Lies. All of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor. Yeah, it does. Yeah, me as well.
Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died.
The victim apparently arrived home from Paris at 7:30, the day before the murder. So July 30th? Yeah, because we're August up there.
Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder.
No way.
The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies.
Daddies? Sugar?
Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle.
Good.
We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Buttz, what do you think of her now?
Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I? My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog? Oh, god damn it, Larry. I'm gonna die! I'm just gonna drop dead! Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Let's continue with the trial, shall we?
I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone.
Yes, quite.
Oh boy, this is so not looking good.
Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not?
Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Answer honestly. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went.
Order. Well, Mr. Buttz?
Dude, chill. Like, she wasn't home, man. So, like, I didn't see her.
Your Honor, the defendant is lying.
Lying?
The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Buttz is lying.
Oh, that simplifies matters. Who's your witness?
The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime.
Order. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is bad.
On the day of the murder, eyewitness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Yes, his last name is Sawit. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct?
Oh, yes. In newspapers, yes.
Mr. Sawyer, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder.
A witness's account. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Harry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that.
Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. President Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime.
Now, Mr. Wright.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
You may begin your cross-examination.
Examination, Your Honor? All right. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lie? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key and the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and a witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court record with tab, then point out the contradictions in the testimony. Alright, well, I want to look at this real fast. Can I read this? No. Time of death was between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Boom. There's a significant difference there. The statue in the shape of the thinker is rather heavy. Yep. You're right. The day before. Okay, a couple days before. Actually, from noon to 6. He said it was 1 p.m. Specifically, he said it was 1 p.m. It was actually between 4 and 5 that she died. Also, this is my attorney's badge. I wish I could hit escape to do that. Okay, that's fine. Doom. Cross-examination. Witness's account. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing. Okay, so it's not that. No. I was thinking it's strange. I looked inside the apartment and I saw her lying there. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside.
So you didn't touch anything in the apartment? Yes. I mean, no. Nothing. Okay, what happened next? I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. The phone in her apartment wasn't working? Yes. I mean, no. No, it wasn't. Right. But you said you didn't go into the apartment. Or did you? Oh, that. I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call. And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next? I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. Alright. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was no body found at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Saw it. Why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.?
Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, right? Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again?
The time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding, but the power was out.
Let's see. Heard a voice saying the time on a tape program. Mr. Rat, you may cross-examine the witness.
Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Just when do I present it, though? You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. It was a voice, and it was probably coming from the television. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Yeah.
The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Saw?
No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Oh, wait. I remember now.
Mr. Saw, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility.
That and...
You seem rather distraught.
My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body.
Very well, Mr. Saw. Let's hear your testimony one more time, please.
Oh, he's the one. Oh, he's totally guilty. They show him at the beginning. You may not have been here when I started, but they show him at the very beginning of the chapter committing it and saying he's got to get Larry off, or he wants to blame it on Larry. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. The power was out, my homeboy. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
Saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. Defense may cross-examine the witness.
Gladly. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. Hey, look at this. I'm a press. Strikes me as a very suspicious mistake. Yes, I can see how you'd be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. I only just remembered that table clock.
Table clock?
And the murder weapon the killer uses to hit the victim. Wait. Hold on. What? The murder weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Something's fishy here. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was a statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? Oh man, it's the jam. It's the jam. You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne.
As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
See. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Rat, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now?
Yes, I do. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hands. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly, a contradiction.
Indeed.
The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard.
Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Rat.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless. Just look at the witness's face.
Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock?
That day. I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no. I mean,
Oh. Shut up. I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn. Burn! Give him death. Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright.
Your Honor,
You claim the sound of the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence?
the whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely his clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Damn it, the clock's back. Try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in the court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I asked the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time.
Well, he is the thinker, after all.
So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25. Ah!
As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. You've forgotten one thing. Uh-oh, what's he talking about now?
While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
He's right. How am I going to prove that? The passport! Damn it, I was so close.
Mr. Wright, it seems you lacked critical evidence to support your claim.
Yes, Your Honor.
This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends cross-examination, Mr.
Sawit, can I present? Can I present? Damn it, damn it.
I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal!
The lawyers are all slime. I almost had him.
Sorry, Larry. Failed you. Nothing I can do about it now. Did I seriously just fail? Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Oh, thanks, Mia. Mia, I mean, Chief. Listen up, right? Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But, Chief, it's over. You can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Sure I can. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. That doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Right? Right, right? And you think of a reason as to why the clock would be slow. You're... Wait! Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it right. Find it and let them have it.
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim?
Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt.
Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow.
The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day here. There. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit. Or should I say, Mr. Did It. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Why I... He just foaming at the mouth.
Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness.
Hey, he was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Gave him a weird, different voice.
Very well. Mr. Rat,
Yes, Your Honor.
I have to say I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. And find the true culprit at the same time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Buttz, not guilty. And with that, this court is adjourned.
Turns out that Frank saw it was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, Larry went to her apartment and the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sod let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sod grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Mortal alert. Man, that sucks. August 3rd. Bum bum. August 3rd. 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Whew. Still can't believe we won. Right. Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no? No, I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. There, she was never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Buttz. Innocent. You called him Harry Buttz. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this. Ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh, no, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, isn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. I was so into that chick. And just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry? Barry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you, in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing. Really. Isn't that right? Right. Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive. You weren't just some chum to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. She took it. Whatever. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. Think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks, man. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at people, too. You never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. Even them. In order to believe in them, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be out? Yeah, I guess so. How about dinner? On me. Drink a toast in. Yeah? Oh, speaking of Harry. You were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because I... yeah. Part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe. Over drinks? Totally coming on to me. Get it, Phoenix. Get it. Get it, Phoenix. Get it. So, first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Hey, Nick, it's good to have friends." Pretty sure he's not going to pay us. Unless you count the clock he gave me out. Didn't know it then. That clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. Promised to tell the chief about me and Larry. One promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end? Is there a question mark? Is there a question mark? Is there a question mark? No. Alright, case 1 done. On to episode 2. Turnabout Sisters. Save your progress up to this point.
Yes, please.